Hello and welcome. Before we get started, I should inform our intrepid producer that we have two people not showing on screen.
Oh,
and we're all in the wrong places.
Well, hold on one moment. Hold on, please.
I get to be the GM, everybody.
As I mentioned,
Yay!
Level up.
Did you write anything?
Oh, I mean, look, I can figure something out.
She has like 300 books, Pathfinder. She could probably do something.
Yes, but I also know her. She does not run without prep.
No, and it's too, like, even when I am prepping, it's usually in I'm a smaller game. I'm breaking up like my tarot cards. So we would do a reading right here, and then we would do a game.
I do have a question also, James. It's Don, Katie, James, Bella, Sean, Lobo.
I've noticed that since the first game. I just left it.
That's
I
interesting.
became Ricardo.
I just left it. I mean, the guy
Now you're
can be
me.
called Lobo. It's fine.
That's very interesting. I think it should stay. I think it
That's
should
fine.
Bella,
Let's
wear a
get our
switch.
cameras in place, and then we'll do our intros and play the game.
Oh no, we should do our
Makes
intros
sense.
like right now as I'm moving things around to confuse everyone. No, I'm just kidding. Should be done momentarily. Oh, that's all that needs to be done.
Let's see, we're gonna. There we go. But yeah, with
Almost.
yes, I am like
One more change,
Okay.
and then we should be all set.
I prep a ton.
There we go. I think everybody's in the right place, so we can go ahead and get started. Hello and welcome. First thing I want to say is this is an adult stream with adult language. We are maybe touching on some adult topics. We will fade to black on things that are going a little bit too dark or a little bit too other things. But we have our lines and veils in place, and everyone's prepared. My name's Don. I am going to be the GM for this game. Go ahead and toss this over to Katie.
Hi, I am Katie, and I am playing Anna, Lady Anna Leclerc, who is a Dhampir summoner. And I will pass it over to Bella.
Hello everyone, I'm Bella, and tonight I return as Lenore, who apparently has been shopping for a month, which was a lot, even for her. Now I'll pass it over to my evil twin, Ricardo Lobo.
I'm the evil twin. What?
Yeah, that's what
everybody.
twins is.
Everybody, my name's Ricardo. I play Lobo, the orc. Oh, my name is being changed. Nice. It's the orc barbarian / Dhampir. Yeah, let's take it to Sean.
Hi guys, I'm Sean. I will be playing Samael, the fetchling Dhampir cleric. And I guess we'll toss the ball over to James.
Hello, I'm James, and I am playing the oldest, Sitwell, Cobalt Dhampir, and and I also fixed Lobo's name, so now it says Ricardo there. Don't worry about it, just smoke and mirrors. And,
All right, but
go ahead.
before we go ahead and get started, I want to say a couple of things. First off, thank you to James for producing. Even if with any hiccups, it's better than having to do it myself. Secondly, I want to thank Hannah in chat for doing the art for all of our characters. And if you want to commission her, you can find her on her Twitters. She can post it in chat. And then finally, a wonderful and blessed happy birthday to our very own Bella.
Happy
Hey,
birthday.
So, when last we left our not so intrepid heroes, someone just found out they had the weirdest kind of daddy issues, being one.
I wasn't around, and that's weird.
So, but we're not going to start there. We're going to start with Samael. Samael, you're carrying around 200 pounds worth of bags.
Are we done yet? I'm not built for this kind of stuff. Why didn't you bring Lobo?
And Lenore, you're in front of him going to the next store.
Wait, so listen, I have like, okay, I need to do like.
He just falls flat on the ground.
Let me do like a townie.
I didn't know I could be tired as a Dhampir.
Calm down. I have blue shoes, and I have black shoes, and I have green shoes, and I have maroon shoes, and now I think I need light green shoes. And I will like wine colored
I'm
shoes.
killing everyone in the next store we go to.
Please don't.
Then we are done.
Around that time, Lenore, you hear over your shoulder, you should catch up to them. She needs you. As a ghostly presence just materializes right next to you for just a second and points you in a direction.
Oh, hi.
Towards the shackles.
Oh.
And then poofs away.
Do I know the ghost?
Oh, yeah. It's Lucia.
Oh, nice.
Lucia, help me. Carry some of these bags with you, please.
I don't do shopping. That's Lobo's thing.
Does anybody know sending? I need to call Lobo.
But you do have a carriage that was left for y'all by Anna. It is the most gothic carriage ever. Might not be fully alive.
Well, we prefer it that way.
They're not fully alive.
I am just tossing bags into the car, like hitting walls.
It's designer.
Yeah, especially anything breakable is being just tossed.
And the carriage cushions every blow. It's used to this.
And then whenever she says Sammy, he picks her up and tosses her into the carriage.
And y'all eventually make your way down the road. Those of you in this shackle. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I do have a question. Did I gain any points in strength from all this?
No, not unless you can give yourself a boost.
I didn't.
Okay, then no. You still skipped arm day.
He does all the time.
Those of you in the shackles are heading back towards your home. It's a long ride. I know you have teleport, but you haven't practiced it very much.
True, and we needed to have a discussion.
Yes, you'll have to train someone in how to be one of you.
Well, I also have, Lobo, this might get a little clinical. You reproduce, and actually she's like with, what was his name, 7?
4.
4. 4, if you could be as kind as to just not listen for a little bit. Because I'm going to need
got it.
I'm going to need some details on the reproductive peculiarities that you went through in order to create 4, as this is something that, for research, I actually do need this.
Wait, no, 4 is his kid, not mine.
No, she's talking to Sid, sorry.
Oh.
She's also pardoning Lobo if he wants to, sit on top of the carriage during this.
I'm taking a nap.
I do understand that this is obviously highly inappropriate, but in the name of science, this is something that I rather do need to understand. You don't mind, do you, Sid?
No, definitely not. I mean, science is... everything needs to be proven.
Excellent. So, if you could start at the beginning. We can skip courtship and any of that. What I really need probably is the mechanical aspects. And she has a pen and a quill and a blank piece of paper.
And then he goes into extreme details.
Excellent.
That like people that might, that would overhear would throw up a little.
Yeah.
I mean, all the people in the audience are going to hear is what I said to her was, "You and me, baby, ain't nothing but reptiles."
Let's
Do it
just
like they do
say-
on Nova.
Let's just say it involved it's like we cracked the joke of disconnecting your tail and growing another, and lots of lizard-like jokes.
I think perhaps a few diagrams might work out here. And she starts sketching some out and taking it by.
Eventually, you get enough information to make a medicine check.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
When Samael sees those sketches, he's gonna think she's doing like a novel, one of those like Touch Club novels.
It's literally going to be like a Cobalt Dragon Kama Sutra.
That is enough. You have found that there, at least in Sit's case, reptilian reproduction works.
Good. Excellent. And it seems to work among normal lines. There's nothing needed to be added to the process that would not normally be there. Okay, good. She's just quite happily taking notes.
As Lenore sees what's going on, she is going to go like...
Yeah.
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
We're not there
yet.
Soon. Several days pass that this conversation happens, Lobo. What are you doing?
My God.
I'm probably sitting.
They're going through a lot of biology courses at this point, because this is the two nerds you're in a carriage with.
Lobo's probably faster than the carrier, so he probably goes out and starts either walking outside through the woods, hunting along the way.
All right. Give me a survival check.
Lobo gets lost in the woods.
Nope.
Actually, it's funny. You guys are thinking we're going to stop at restaurants and all these different towns along the way. And Lobo, every time y'all think about stopping, he hands you more food. You don't know where he's getting it from or how he's making it.
I have to cook it a little bit, but
it's rare. But it is cooked and it is fresh. And he's not being chased by anything with pitchforks. That's what a nat 20 survival is going to do for you.
Wow.
Y'all subsist well. He even provides you the red wine you like.
This is very civilized. Is this camping?
not quite.
This is
Y'all
glamping.
don't even notice the days that he's not on the cart with you. Because y'all are so into your classes.
Wow.
But eventually, y'all see another carriage in the distance. And Samael and Lenore, y'all have had an easy ride. The carriage knows where it's going. Y'all are well fed in there. It's got its own subsistence system. And you make your way, and you see another carriage in the distance, coming down the same road, the opposite direction.
Lenore had an easy journey. I can't say the same about Samael because he had to endure Lenore making a fashion show.
That part he enjoyed. It was the whole lugging around all of your expenses is what he didn't enjoy.
But yes, eventually the two carriages meet on the road. It is several days' journey for both of y'all. And y'all notice there are 4 people on their carriage, not 3.
What's the little thing?
Nephew.
Yes. Would you like to do introductions? Sit.
There's a kobold jumps off the carriage, runs up to Lenore, jumps in her arms. It's my aunt, I can tell. We're related.
Oh my! You have baby?
We came back, to do some investigation, and lo and behold, I have a son.
Oh
Yeah,
my God!
mine is 4.
We need to get him a better name.
Where's 3, 2, and 1?
Either still at the orphanage or recently freed by my other aunt and uncle.
I am so confused. Somebody please explain this to me in English.
I have diagrams.
You don't want to see the diagrams. Trust me, you don't want to see the diagrams.
Yes. Share the diagram.
Samael, you might want to see the diagrams.
Anna, are you making an erotic novel?
No, of course not.
Nah, these
Why
are
not?
I understand.
This is instructional.
Yeah,
Okay.
so is the Kama Sutra.
Exactly. It's just the Cobalt edition.
Look, this bit I understand. I know how babies are made. My real question is how we got to the baby making aspect.
Well,
of
the
it.
silver dragon.
Huh.
And
He left though.
I am so confused.
It's okay. They were too.
well, welcome for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Do you need clothes? I have many clothes.
Put him in the
Oh,
put him in the
well,
green dress. Put him in the green dress.
I'm not a problem wearing dresses, and I'm secure in who I am.
Well,
Don't tell Lenore that.
I will definitely dress for in the green. I mean, let's say I still have
Look-
some
look what they
fashion
make me wear.
sensibility. That would look good.
yeah. What's Lobo
Right?
wearing?
Lobo's wearing nice clothes. He's mad.
How nice are they though? He's been in the woods for like a week.
That's what prestidigitation is for.
They smell like magic.
They do.
But as y'all are sitting and talking and catching up, is there anything anyone would like to do while y'all are camping?
Well, we do need to think of a curriculum. I mean, I know you have most of it covered, Sid. But I was thinking the niceties, and she's looking at Lenore. Some of the niceties, society, like, how to go to tea and how to talk to people of a higher station, or, how to,
You punch them and you cut the purse and you run off with the money.
This is where we're having a problem.
That's what Lobo said.
Well,
Lobo?
I said the punching
agree.
part. I said the punching part. Everything else was him.
it's not far from the truth, but you always present yourself elegantly and understand. You never let them see the fact that you can do that. You only do that when you need to.
Yes, etiquette is a way to get somebody to expose their throat so it's easier to cut.
Mm-hmm.
In more ways than one. Well, from our current category, I think, there are only 2 people here that are equipped enough to teach etiquette lessons to a child. I don't know. Are you a child?
Lobo and Sid.
No. That was named Lenore and named Anna.
Whoa. Excuse me?
Excuse me?
I think I should take you to the temple for.
Oh, Lord.
What temple?
Whoa. Well, that is, we do need to make sure that his religious training is robust.
I say we all.
I like Nine Navati. You have sharp, pointy teeth.
I think you'll enjoy Callistra quite a bit.
I think we teach him everything and then let him decide his path.
Exactly.
Okay. And he just flops back into the undead carriage and goes immediately to sleep inside of the pile of Lenore's belongings. Like a nest.
Yes. Get them as grungy as possible, my friend.
And as the quintet of you are talking,
How old is Whore?
He's pretty young. I don't know the exact age, but it would be sometime. What, I'm 150 years old, so it was about when I was 50. So, yeah, he could actually be close to 40 to between 40 and 60, but I have no idea.
Also, could be a year old. You don't know how long the gestation period was.
That is true.
I believe that was the biggest quandary we had. And I was actually checking my notes from last time. The biggest quandary we had was that we don't know exactly when the egg hatched. So he may be, but he's young. He's obviously quite young.
Okay.
Untempered.
That's all very, very confusing.
Make perception checks.
Oh no.
Perception.
36.
26.
Lobo's falling asleep again.
Oh, I was like, oh.
Yeah, I'm definitely not perceptive.
All right, it's perfect because Anna and Lenore notice at the same time. As a rider approaches your campsite,
Kill it.
there's your 2 wagons. You have some logs set out, and Lobo's put up tents and everything. I'm gonna rock that 20 survival for him for a while. He's got your entire campsite set up. It's pretty well easily defended, but there's a rider riding up, and he is well dressed, well kept.
I will stand and walk toward where he's coming from to meet him at the edge of camp.
You see he reins the horse in. The horse almost slides a little as he stops, and he steps off the horse.
I hold up a 10. A sign that says 10 on it. Thank you. Good job.
Those Too Fast, Too Furious.
Oh. Galarian Drift.
Galarian.
I mean, we have motorcycles. Like, I'm just
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah, he steps off and he looks. He's like,
Can
I am looking for the Lady Lenore or the Lady Anna.
He'll look back and like, yeah, they're back there somewhere. They're obviously there, and he's just like, yeah, probably back there in the woods somewhere. I don't know.
Uh-huh. And you would be Sir Samael, correct? Or should I say Father Samael?
You are well learned.
It's my job.
Well, come into camp then.
Mm-hmm. Professor Sith.
Yes. See
Good to see you. And the woodsman, whose name doesn't matter.
It appears you have a sort of disadvantage.
What's that?
It appears you have a sort of disadvantage, sir.
Oh, only some of you. Lady Lenore, you knew me when I was younger. I'm from your mother's house.
Oh.
Ooh.
That has been a while. I'm
Yes.
sorry I don't recall your name.
It's fine. Just, you can call me DJ for now.
Okay.
DJ, that's very common.
Yes, I'm sorry you're human and your tongue can't pronounce our words.
Try me.
Is this a language off? Because I speak several.
It's like...
I know.
Dorthordan? Jelira.
The Thornton Jalira. Okay.
Can I buy a vowel?
And yes, your mother is not well.
Oh.
Ma'am. I have been sent to ask you to accompany me back to our lands. She would like to see you before she passes.
Oh. Just to clarify, he's still talking to Lenore.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yes, she believes that you may have come into possession of some things recently that she needs to explain before she goes.
Of course she does.
What, the clothes that we just bought?
No. Do you believe the librarian from a certain bibliotech has spoken with her?
Ah, now I get it.
And yes.
I guess
You would
we're
like to
going to. Guess we're going. Not just gonna talk to the others. I guess we're gonna have to take little Horina in their first world trip. But really, how bad is she? Because I mean, don't get me wrong. Mother has been dying for decades.
This time it might be permanent. He's hired a ship and everything.
Oh, I see.
Yes. Yes, she's preparing her voyage, as she says.
Yeah, but see, don't get me wrong. The woman has been dying for decades, and it's a little difficult to understand whether that's true or not. I guess.
Well, no, for your best estimate is she's at least 2 millennia old.
Yeah, that's my point. And Lenore's mother is one of those people who, whenever Lenore has been away from home for too long, she just sent a message saying she's dying. She's just like she has a cold or something at the worst.
I hate to do this to you, Bella, but her and your father would love to have you for dinner before your father's trip.
Oh my god. Sure.
Which father is this? The father or you?
No. My, the father who raised Lenore. That's what he means. Another one. Yeah, stepdaddy. Not too many daddies. Anyway.
The world of daddies.
Human daddies.
It's WAD.
Non-stop daddies.
One last question before we take the child, into a road trip. How official is this? How is this like a social visit, or is this like a...
Oh, yes. And he produces an envelope and hands it to you. It's sealed with her seal.
Of course, it's not a social visit.
It's so official.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry, I've been writing for about a month trying to find you. Apparently, every store on this side of Galarian had reservations for you.
Samael's eyes roll like billions of times in the back of his head.
It's almost as if I was, predicting Father was going to do this. Luckily, I have clothes for everyone. Yay! I'm so very
He's like, oh,
hey, that's the girl.
yes. And he's like, now that I have found you, I can go home the fast way. And he opts out of existence.
What a jerk. Why couldn't he have just done that for all of us?
That would have finished it easy.
Your family has downgraded in my view, Lenore.
She's going to hand the official invitation to Anna because she knows she'll be happy to see it.
It is written in fine elven script, in a woman's hand. It looks like her mother actually wrote it. It matches the journal. It's older. It's an older hand, but it's the same hand.
Well, we won't know for sure until we have the hand in our hands.
How far of a trip is it to go to your homeland, dear?
At least this one isn't the other elf she plays.
Yeah. I don't know, Don. How far is? Should I roll something to know how far that is?
Well, where did you put Lenore's from?
I have no idea.
I'm sure it's within 100 miles.
No, not
Damn it.
easy.
I don't think I have, actually. I think I just let it open. I don't
In
think
that case, then she is from... I know exactly where you're from. It makes the most sense to be the most annoying. You're from Absalom.
Damn.
I was thinking you were going to say the frozen north.
No, she's already played one of those. I'm not going to do that to Bella.
That's awesome.
This is her sister.
No, you are from Absalom.
Oh, God. How far are we from Absalom?
You're how far is the Shackles from Absalom? Because you're about 4 days from the Shackles, heading towards Alkenstar.
Yep, Katie's looking it up. I can hear it.
Look, I'm just pulling up the interactive map of Galarian so I can make a few measurements.
I understand.
So, okay, there's Mwangi, there's the Shackles. Go up north. Oof.
Past an ocean.
Past, it's fine.
You're gonna have to book passage somehow. Because I believe it's an inner sea, right? You have to take the inner sea.
Well, I do. I mean, I used to. I won't say pirate.
You were a pirate, weren't you?
I was.
Best
you still have a
pirate
ship?
ever.
Is this offensive to ask if you? I mean, well, you were a pirate, but now that's Lenore saying like.
It is
offensive to ask if you have dragon friends that could give us a ride.
Well, I mean, apparently because she didn't, show herself at the time. I thought that she was not a dragon, and lo and behold, now I have 4, which we're going to change that name. That's not a good name.
It's a great name. Like my name.
Well, don't worry. You're going to learn to love your actual kobold/dragon name that you'll earn. And so if I could get hold of her somehow, that would be helpful.
Okay, but yeah.
Another option. Sit. And I'm just posting another picture to our Discord. Sit. It, by my calculations, by the crow flies, is about 1,800 miles. Now, I can teleport 100 miles twice, I believe. Anna would know this. Just, this is me going, is it 2 or 3? Let's see. Twice per day. You picked this up too recently, didn't you?
That is correct.
So, can you cast it 2 times or 3 times per day?
Let me check. Because I don't remember if I can. That many times. So.
At level 6, you got it's a bunch.
Yeah.
But we could possibly. I mean, we can always book passage.
True.
Presumably, go north, go through Cauldron.
I do kind of miss the sea, so if we're not in any rush, I would prefer to book passage.
Well, only death. That's fine.
I don't think we have much to worry about in that realm right now.
Finish.
Do you still have a ship?
I don't. But if we make it to get back to the Shackles, I can probably get us a ship.
I got a boat.
I mean, how large is your boat?
Pretty big.
All right. Well, let's see what 4 actually means by pretty big boat, and then we'll also go to some of the people that I know that we can actually get a ship.
So, you take the 4-day journey back to the Shackles with 2 carriages laden with luggage. I'm going to need survival checks from Lobo.
Thank you, Lobo.
Oh, man.
Excellent.
All right, y'all make it there. Y'all are fed and well taken care of along the way. You even get a couple of peasants for Samael.
Excellent.
And you make your way back and to the docks. And you are recognized as you were last time. So people recognize you, know you. and you recognize the boat you're being taken to. It's your boat.
Well, I'll be damned.
Yeah, I told you I had a boat. They said I could have it.
Well, it looks like it's in good shape. I mean, is it
Yeah,
in
there's
good
a
shape?
captain on there and stuff, but I don't know who he is.
All right. Well, then let's hop on this ship and talk to the captain.
So, as you're heading towards the gangplank of the ship, there are guards at the end, sailors, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Excuse me. This is a private vessel.
Do you know who I am?
No.
Do you know who this is?
It's a little Urson that tries to steal things from people on the docks all the time. Is he in trouble? Did he steal something from the boat?
What is the name of this ship?
What did you name your ships?
Let's say that I named it.
The Rusty Tail.
No,
The Dragon's
wait.
Roar.
What's that? Dragon's Roar?
The Dragon's Roar.
I like that. That'll work.
And it is bristling with guns. And they're like, yeah, this is the Dragon's Roar. Our captain won in a poker game.
Yeah. You know this ship is my ship.
No. Sure don't. Been our captains for a good 50 years now.
Only because I let him hold on to it. But I'm back. And
well, you can take it up with him. It's not worth dying over. This is just a job, man.
Understood. And Sit actually throws them each a couple silver.
Yeah, we'd stop you from robbing it, but if you want to just go talk to him, go feel free.
And so, of course, I just look at everyone's like, come on. Board the ship.
Oh, right. How many of you guys have been on a boat before?
Anna would have had to have been on one at some point because she did travel for school and...
Okay.
I bet you Lobo has
I know this is Lobo's first time on a boat.
Yeah.
I would assume Samael had, but probably not on the material world. Probably in the like shadow sea of the.
Okay, this is a little bit more. This is a little bit of a different experience. I'm gonna guess Lenore probably has been on a boat. Being that Absalom is a coastal city.
Absalom is an island.
Yeah.
It's just coastal city as you get.
I mean, so I need Lobo and Samael to make fortitude saving throws.
Already? Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, Lenore's probably like sitting on the side of the boat, like just vibing, because that's her
All
thing.
right. Yeah, Lobo, it's nothing. It's a little rocky, but it's not as bad as sliding down a mountain.
Why is it moving so much?
The
And
water.
we'll find out how it affects Samael when he gets on the boat. Samael's still on the dock discussing getting on the boat.
He got delivered a pizza while he was sitting on the dock.
Yeah, you see him, he opens up some food.
Well, that is an idea.
And
So, what do I need to roll?
fortitude.
Fortitude? Okay, just a second. 27.
No, you're fine. You get on the boat. It's a little rockier than you're used to in the Shadow Plane, but it is still just a boat at the end of the day. It's not on high seas. It's just some people, the instant they hit the boat, they're done. But Lenore and Anna, you guys are used to this. You're not used to all these people with guns on a boat. Everyone here is armed. Everyone, even the guy swabbing the deck, has a cutlass and a pistol.
Normally,
They brought us some entertainment, eh?
I'm sorry, what?
Entertainment.
Oh,
You're the
That's it,
dancers, right?
This is your boat.
So,
I don't want to besmirch your honor.
if they continue to be unreasonable, then we may have to take this by force.
Samuel starts dancing.
Oh, good. The one who wanted to dance started to dance. Awesome, cool. Look at him shaking. He throws coins at you.
I have a dancer for you.
Oh
And
no.
she summoned Lucia.
Not one to judge your corporalness, but it's not my thing.
That has escalated quickly.
But as you're standing there and you're looking there, do you have your hat on?
Yes. Yes, I do.
You see a person with their prehensile tail swinging down from a rope, also wearing a tricorn hat. Flips and lands in front of you. Ahoy!
Ahoy.
I'm Captain Bart.
I'm sorry?
I'm Captain Bart.
Captain Bart. Well, Captain Bart, if you know who I am, then you'll realize that this is my ship.
No, you lost.
No.
It was my Atlantic Gold versus your ship, and I won.
You know what? I'm not going to argue about this, but I do need you to give us passage.
Mm-hmm. And where to?
We need to make it to... Are we going to Absalom? Yes, to Absalom.
Oh. You gonna try and make the leap?
What do you mean, make the leap?
Oh, you know about the leaps of the Starstones, right?
Yes, but I am not prepared for anything like that. We're just going there for family.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's a pretty long voyage around there. It's to the inner sea. I'm gonna have to pay taxes and dock fees.
I'm sure that it can be taken care of, and I'm sure that you've also can give us a discount because we go back, way back.
Yeah, I can give you a discount.
No, you can give me and my siblings a discount.
Hello.
Well, there are 6 of you.
That is good. I am very proud of you.
So, with a discount for this passage, 500 gold.
That is fair.
And that one doesn't get to stop dancing.
Oh, he can stop dancing whenever he feels like it. Trust me. You don't want to be on his bad side.
Hmm.
And then I just kind of look
I'll
back
make sure
and
Alfred knows. And yes, I'm messing with Katie at this point.
Nice.
And you see up in the crow's nest, there is a very large ape.
Oh, God.
Really?
Yeah. Just sitting there looking out he has a spyglass. Figure, if they live there, that's my what they do, Katie.
That's true.
But eventually, is there anything you guys want to do in the shackles before this ship departs?
No, just collect some garments and be all. There's not a whole lot that.
Lenore, you do have reservations at a couple stores in the area.
Lobo, go with Lenore.
Lobo's like,
She's not gonna try to dress me again, is she?
I don't know, maybe.
I won't make promises I won't be keeping.
It's your turn, though. I went last time.
Oh.
You enjoyed it. Calm down. So I'll expose him because he likes to shopping situation. He loved it. You know, all that the fashion show and everything, you know, the color matching and color theory, he loved it. He's just like being semi up.
But she wouldn't carry a single bag. A single one.
Of course not.
Well, make me a
Milady.
society roll.
make a high society roll.
Okay. Was that for me?
Oh,
Okay. They got confused. It's the same provider, right?
Yeah.
Unless this thing does the same. Oh god, that's not too good.
Actually, it's actually rather well for the area. It's not based on your level for this roll. This is based on the level of the settlement. So, you make your way through the town to the stores that you found. It's a little boutique. Anna didn't even see this when they were going through town. She was in such a rush. But Anna, when you and Lenore and Lobo make your way to this thing, it is so bougie. You're handed them most when you walk in the door before they get your name.
Oh. You see, it's not all bad.
Yeah, and Lobo, you're handed a fizzy orange juice. Is what it smells like to you.
Or like people like Anna and I call it proper oranges.
Yeah, these are actually fresh squeezed oranges, so it actually tastes like the juice you would have, but it's bubbly on the back end with a little bit of tart. And you can feel the alcohol after a moment.
Uh-huh.
But this is like fine seafaring clothing.
Oh, excellent. Well, we should want to blend, shouldn't we?
Yes. I mean, I already look, ravishing, but maybe I could use another cloak.
Yeah, and they sell hats, cloaks, boots, gloves, rapiers, anything to be a proper dashing sea captain.
Yeah, we're going to do a whole cosplay moment.
Nice.
We're going to try to fit in the way that never fits in.
And when you try to fit in, I'm going to need you to make me a deception check to disguise self. You actually, so it's weird. It's almost right, but her posture's wrong. She's too proper. Everything's too nice and clean.
And it hugs in ways she can't move.
Oh no, it's like perfectly fitted somehow. And anyone else who's trying to be the sea captain, like besides Sid, will also need to make a deception check. Sid, you just know how it all works for you.
Excellent.
And Lobo, you're being required to make this roll because I know they're not going to let you not.
Let me see if I was able to get away.
Nope.
They're like, Lobo, brother, where are
Lucia
you
just
going?
picks you up and pulls you back.
Come on, Lucy. I thought we were friends.
This is funny, though. So it's funny. Lenore, you also have the same form-fitting problem. Everything fits you too well. And then you look over at Lobo, and he looks like he's been a sea captain for ages. Like old sea captain. He's got a peg arm and everything.
Excellent. Sit looks over at Lobo, and he is just amazed. He goes, "You are glorious."
And Samael also slides in after finishing his papusa and slides in, throws a cloak on, and suddenly looks like he belonged on ship.
Maybe
he just pulls a rapier out of his bag and like puts it on his belt.
Sit looks around. He goes, "Maybe we actually have a different calling."
I mean, I've been meaning to. We should discuss that on the boat once we're safely out of Alkenstar. Well, we're in the shackles right now.
Another problem?
Before we go back to Alkenstar, because there's this pesky little legal detail. Ironical. It's really nothing. But 2 years requirement military service for citizens. And I'm not quite sure where we are in the citizenship grading, situation, like when one is considered a citizen who might need to be.
I have religious exemption, thanks.
I don't know what exception would be. I would have, obviously, I would think, exceptions for being noble, as would Lenore.
Well, me, I would just say no.
Oh,
And eventually, you make your way out of the boat and out into the sea. Someone make me a roll percentile dice.
Ooh.
We're going to say high, good, low, bad. 50-50. You can flip a coin for all I care. Low.
No!
Awesome. It's you're a day or two out. And the ape starts to go ape up on the crow's nest, pointing down, and you hear the captain spit as he's guiding it from the wheel, and he looks up and is like, storms a brewing.
Not the good kind of brewing, though.
No, that's down below. But you also might want to go below because batten the hatches and all.
All right, this is the exciting part.
Oh, this looks like everybody's working. And she goes,
Oh, yeah, people start pulling riggings and pulling the sails up and everything. Hoist the mainsail, you know? We're going through the storm.
Well, Sit will kind of corral four and head down.
Mm-hmm. And you see, this is when you pay a little bit more attention to the crew, there are humans, there are elves, but this is a primary Venaran crewed vessel.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's a bunch of guys with extra appendages pulling on ropes and things.
It's like, why didn't I think of that? That could have made things so much easier.
But you guys get down below decks, and you notice that there is an empty passenger compartment that looks like it has recently been inhabited. There's only one thing still in that compartment that you find, and it is a My Pretty Pony book. Yes.
Or is this yours?
No, I haven't read those in years. Yeah, no, that's the guy who lived here before, probably. They said it was some Iruxi. Yeah, I don't know. He got off back in the shackles, I guess. Must have forgot his book, but I'll read it.
Curious.
Do I have a book for you? And he's going to pull out Tusk Glove and hand it to him.
Oh, no.
Not as good as Miss Hannah's diagrams.
So, Ford,
True.
how often have you guys been, on ships?
Me?
Well, any of the people or any of the other orphans.
I'm my other ones. I mean, I get on ship all the time. I get thrown off them a lot, too.
Well, I mean, you're trying
Stop
to steal
stowing away. You stole my pocketbook. Blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
That's not your daughter. That's my daughter. You shouldn't touch her.
And I was
Okay,
like,
I really like 4 now.
I know, it's like, and sit like, slowly, like, high fives for.
But no, we have so much work to do.
Yeah. I think I'm up to 42 ships that I'm not allowed on board anymore.
Damn, that is impressive.
Are
Yeah.
there even 42 ships in the shackles?
Not anymore.
How many did you sink?
No, he didn't do any sinking, but there was one of my old colleagues that does that for insurance.
Yeah. I helped him a couple times. Yeah, good racket. But,
Can we search that
storm
room
comes.
and see if there's any other clues?
Oh, yeah, go ahead and make a perception check. Go for it.
They just feel so specific.
Yeah.
Anna, you see nothing. Lobo, you see less than nothing.
Lobo is hitting you.
Lucy also doesn't see. Waiting for the last roll. Lenore.
Wow.
You've got the highest. So you are the one who notices this. And actually makes a lot of sense for you to notice. You notice hidden in a drawer, you pop it open, and it's just a Lizard's First spellbook. And you can add to your known cantrips any one you would like.
Oh, nice.
And it's signed on the inside cover to my darling Ignatius.
Oh.
Whoa, that's some great canon there.
But yes,
So
you may
you
add
know.
any one cantrip as if you had the feat cantrip expansion.
Nice.
Nice.
Cool.
So your choice out of the repertoire that you have. Off your list. I think you're arcane, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so you can add an arcane cantrip whenever you choose. Because you found the spellbook. It doesn't have anything else in it that you can really make out. It's like it was sentimental more than useful. And you guys eventually make your way through the storm. But in the storm, I'm going to go ahead and need reflex saves.
That's fair.
From everyone but Lucia. Lucia doesn't care. Lobo, you're fine. This Captain Guard makes you feel captain-y.
Yeah.
Anna and Sam. You get wrapped up in the hammocks below decks. It's bad. Anna, you've never been so disheveled in front of people. On top of Samael and everything.
Samuel tries to make it look like he did it on purpose.
No, you tripped one way, she tripped the other way. It was bad.
Anna, I didn't know you felt like this about me.
Stops the electric crackling in her fingertips, like just pulls it back.
And then for those who failed their reflex saves, I need fortitude saves.
Oh no.
Oh, God.
Yes. Oh, this is going to be weird.
Uh-oh.
Samael, you fail. Anna,
Yeah.
you're fine. You get a little rumble in your tummy, but you're okay. You hold it back. Samael, on the other hand, as you're rocking around the boat unsteadily on your feet, that pizza you had right before you got on ship 3 days ago, yeah, it's coming back.
He that drawer that had the book in it, he just opens it and goes, blah! And then he closes it and taps it and is like, someone will find that next.
It's like Sid's like,
it's just blood and bile.
Yeah. And one pepperoni.
Sid is very pleased. He's like, haha, Captain Bart's going to have that.
Yeah. Lobo,
Yes.
since you made the best save, you get to make the next percentile roll for the next week. It's going to take you a couple of weeks to get there, at least. It's 1,800 as the crow flies. It's a lot more as we're going around the bend.
All right, but look, I can measure that.
Uh-oh.
The storm continues. And we'll need another round of reflex saves.
This is unnatural. Is Saruman causing this storm?
100%. A dear friend of mine.
Uh-oh.
I'm waiting for Sit and Anna.
Oh, I'm sorry, what am I rolling? I was busy.
Reflex again.
God damn it.
Sid's used to this.
All right. So just Samael this time because he's weakened from the expunging, is falling all around the bottom. Samael, or Sit on the other hand, is like tied to the storm, yelling, "Is that all you got?" And a full Lieutenant Dan moment.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't throw up the stuff. There's nothing.
Because there's nothing left to throw up. He's over in the corner going,
Just dry heaving.
Yeah.
And for the third week, it's going to take since we now know that it's 4,000 miles, it's going to take 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
Lenore, hopefully your mom's still alive.
I'm sure.
It took about 6 months to find her. Sid, I need you to go ahead and make me a percentile dice roll.
Okay.
Above 50, please.
Nope.
Oh, no.
God.
The storm clears.
Ooh. Uh-oh.
But I'm going to need will saving throws as you hear a song on the sea.
Son of a gun. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Lobo, no!
Lobo, you feel the call. You need to get to those rocks. The woman you've been looking for all of your life is on those rocks.
She's there.
No. I know
He's there.
I know what's going on.
What do you guys do to stop him?
Well,
Lobo, you have to take all your things to move that direction.
grapple him with Lucy.
What is your fortitude saving throw or fortitude DC?
31.
Yeah, Lucia does not grapple.
Okay, I'm sorry, but no. We're gonna hero point that. No.
Huh?
Damn.
Does anyone else try? Y'all do have a fighter in your party that could probably succeed at that.
You should try.
Just an athletics check.
Okay. She can try. She's not the greatest fighter though, but
It's like Dayton playing a cleric.
Oh man.
Oh wow.
Nope.
That is so true though. That's funny.
Nope. Wow. No one is catching you, Lobo. People are falling all over the place.
Hey, ape, get him!
Well, let's see what I
I'm gonna try athletics. Oh jeez. You know what? Hero
Lobo,
point.
suddenly you're taking Sit with you.
Hero point.
Oh, very well. And she casts Wall of Flesh in front of them.
So Sit, you get grappled into a wall of flesh. As Lobo, I'm going to need you to make the saving throw. We'll make it reflex because it appeared in front of you as you're running off the boat. I believe that's a failure for Anna's DC.
Correct. Anna's DC is 30.
Okay, yeah. So you run smack dab into this wall of flesh and get grappled.
Hey, let me go.
And eventually, you're far enough away to where the song is no longer affecting you.
Sit is such a wizard.
And Sit, you are being touched in places by a wall you never thought you'd be touched. And you try to get out twice.
There are mouths.
Yeah.
Oh, God, if you read the
Yeah.
thing
gross.
text.
Dr. Wallflesh says your prostate is fine.
It's like, let me take your temperature. You're healthy.
That's it.
Lobo,
That's
Well,
canon
this
now,
is not
Dr.
comfortable.
Wallflesh.
Lobo, this is uncomfortable. You were more comfortable in the leather pants.
Yeah.
Technically, this is leather.
This is pre-leather.
We will not talk about this anymore.
You'll eventually get free, but you still remember the song, and you're gonna remember the song forever.
Uh-oh.
You're not called by it, but you're always gonna remember the song and know that you missed out.
My one true love was over there in that rock.
No, she really
by herself with no food for some reason.
You were the food. You were the food.
Yes.
I mean, to me, that sounds like a good time. I don't know what's going on.
Lenore, I'm gonna need a percentile dice roll for the last week.
Good.
How well does the last week Absalom go?
It goes well. I'm optimistic.
This is when we're getting into the inner sea, right?
Oh god.
This keeps getting worse and worse.
The transit to Absalom is fine. It's the docking. As you arrive in port.
Wait, I don't have a passport.
Oh no, it's there are guards on the port, and Lenore, you do recognize them.
Oh no.
It is your family's crest.
Oh god.
Like they were waiting for you. And you're sitting here in this pirate garb. It's messy. There's been blood and bile and sirens and storms, and your hair's not done. And the royal coach is waiting for you.
Sam will prestidigitation the group.
That'll get you clean. That's all it does.
I know, but just to make them and then have a very nice cinnamon aroma around everybody.
But yes, your hair's not done. Your makeup's not done. Your bags are still in the hold. You're in your pirate garb. You thought you'd have a moment.
Do you want a distraction?
I'm good at distractions.
Yes, you are, son. Yes, you are.
I guess that's a little too late, boys. For distractions.
Well,
I believe they've already spotted.
That's quitter talk.
Let's call this pirate. Let's call this pirate chic.
All right, so I'm going to need you to make performance or diplomacy as you exit the ship. Everyone.
Oh, I can do that.
I'm sure that Lobos has one of those.
Should I do the one that I don't have?
Which one you said, diplomacy or
Performance.
Oh, definitely diplomacy.
Uh-oh.
Which one was mine? Oh,
It's funny. All of you guys make your way off the ship looking like you're trying to be fancy pirates, but not actually being fancy pirates. You're just trying to make a look. Even Lobo pulls it off. Sid, on the other hand,
Nope.
looks like a marauding pirate comes to town and is here to literally raid the city.
I think it happened because, yeah.
Four is sitting on your shoulder with his guns cocked.
Yeah, I was totally, reliving what I used to do, and so it just got the best of me.
Yeah, he comes off blade drawn. There's a smaller kobold on his shoulders with two loaded pistols. Distraction!
Lower your weapons, for it's okay. This is family. Oh, that's terrible to say. That's out loud. This
What'd
is
you
all
say?
family.
Oh. And he lowers his guns, but there are suddenly glaives and halberds lowered in front of you two.
Nope, that's understandable. I just kind of forgot
Lady Lenore,
myself.
are these with you? Or were these the pirates that kidnapped you from the shackles?
I beg your pardon.
There would be. That's just the difference.
It must be some kobold ritual.
Sycophants.
They're all elves, by the way. Every single one of them.
So I understand
Diversify.
waiting.
Say the Bella can hear you.
She's just going to like try to, divert the conversation. So I understand Mother's waiting, and we know she was late.
Yes, she is wasting away. And I'll make a perception check real quick. Everyone can make the check. Somehow you are laughing too hard at 4 and Sit. But Sit, you know boats. You know a lot about boats. And that boat over there that in dry dock being built, that boat is being made with the finest materials. That's an elven funeral boat.
Oh. I think Sid's going to kind of keep that to himself for now. Sid, like, his whole demeanor kind of, like, changes.
And Lenore, you don't notice either because you're distracted by the pomp and the circumstance. And the carriage is waiting for you and your luggage.
Sure.
There's like this cart at the end with like 4 oxen that is ready to load all of the luggage that is expected. So it's how many bags for Lenore and Anna and like 1 bag each for the other guys?
Yeah, pretty much.
Samuel has a like bag of holding basically, so he doesn't even need to like. He just carries it over his shoulder.
Lobo's wearing what he owes, so.
What he owns?
Yeah.
But y'all are taken deep into Absalom. And you get to this. Anna and Lenore. Lenore, you know this is your family home, but to Anna, this is not your family home. This is the family home in Absalom.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Anna, this looks like it's a quaint townhouse.
Oh, yes. I mean, this
Vacation
is what
home.
one would have. It's, obviously, the primary estate is going to be in her homeland. Around here, Absalom, the real estate is really a little tight.
Yeah, and it's about 5 stories high, and it's a double wide townhouse. It's like 2 townhouses smooshed together.
Mm-hmm. I mean, her father only had like a little apartment.
Yeah.
So.
So yes, you find this. It's a brownstone. It's in the equivalent of what would be the Georgetown district of DC.
Mm-hmm.
It's that Rickentop Square type thing of Philadelphia. It's those types of ritzy, glamoury areas that are overpriced. But you are taken around to the carriage house out back. And yes, it has a carriage house even in your town.
You have to.
Yes, and they are individually, you're dropped off. 1 carriage stays for the house, but the rest of them are taken off to where they're to the stables and liveries and whatnot. But y'all are escorted inside to the parlor. And it's just you all there for now. And it is very well appointed. Everything's velvet. There's a painting of young Lenore on the wall.
Oh.
She's maybe 40 in the picture.
We should probably. Is there
I have
way
that?
to get cleaned up?
You don't think your mom would mind if I take that painting, would she?
I haven't guessed.
You would know there's a powder rim or 2 on this floor.
So she's going to very quickly ask for some sort of servant to show everybody to their accommodation so they can get freshened up and ready to meet her mother. And is going to instruct the guards to not let Samaya take the picture, at least.
That's fair.
Hey, 4. I will give you a nice shiny gold coin if you take that picture for me later.
Cheapskate.
What are you teaching your kids, Sid?
Sam, do not. It's like, I don't want him to get in trouble because he's not. I mean, apparently, from getting banned from all those ships, he's not good at doing it. He gets caught. So, he needs to be taught.
Yeah, no, he at this point is classless until we make him a character sheet.
Yep.
So he
Until
could
he
cast
chooses
spells too,
his
for all we
way.
know.
He's a
So,
witch.
Eventually, you guys are all taken to not like Lenore and Anna share. This is a town home. It is not, and there are not numerous rooms to it. but the boys will share a room. Lenore and I will share a room. You each have your own areas to be in.
Yep. I'll see you
And
boys
they have
later. I'm gonna
powdered
go
rum
hang out
and
with the
waterfall.
girls. Samuel just like walks toward the room with Anna and Lenore.
There are guards, and you are not authorized in.
Dimension door.
Well done.
All right. So as you dimension door, a large. Let me pull that up real fast because I haven't looked at it in a second. Jump. I have to look at what yours looks like. Sorry. A large Gothic metal door opens in the wall, and out steps Samuel.
Hello.
And Anna was in the middle of having a heart-to-heart with Nor, asking her how she's doing. I know how it is to have a parent potentially being passing.
Katie, you cut.
Oh, I'm sorry. She says, she's basically saying, how are you doing, my dear? Because I know, I've lost both my parents. I know that your mother isn't passed yet, but I know how difficult that can be. Are you trying to sense emotional state? This is not her fault.
Oh, no. Mother, listen, Mother has been dying for at least 200 years now. So, she's not really dying. She's just she's probably under the weather and making a fuss about it. That's what Mother does. So, I spend too much time away from home. And then she just goes, I'm fine, let's go visit. And then you realize she had a flu. And she wasn't dying whatsoever. So I'm not too worried about it.
Well, at least we do get a chance to find answers.
Mm-hmm.
And as she says answers, that's when the door opens, and that's when Samuel walks out.
Oh, hey, it's me. The guards wouldn't let me in.
This is highly improper.
There's a reason the guards didn't let you in, Samuel.
What would that be?
You are supposed to be in the room with the other boys.
That's sexist, and I don't appreciate it.
You're supposed to be besmirching their honor, not ours.
But that's boring.
Well, I'm sorry. You should see it as a challenge.
It's not a challenge, though. That's the thing. Have you heard what Sid has done in the past?
I'm actually thinking of publishing a pamphlet.
I told you.
It's an informative.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
That's where the boy clothes are. That's where it's supposed to be with the boys. Or unless you want to dress in one of my dresses, because we could work that out.
Okay, fine, I'll do that.
Okay.
If that's how you want to present me to your mommy.
Look, you're not making this any easier on me. I put you with the boys, and you need to make a fuss and open a magical door to get past the guards.
Lucia is sitting down next to Anna. I have popcorn.
Oh.
Or you could go back there and get your boy clothes and come back here if that's gonna make you happy. But that's not how it's supposed to go. We all need to play the game, and that game is orchestrated by Mother Dearest, not by me.
He goes to the door and he looks back and he looks at Lenore and he kind of shakes his head. He's like, "You've changed," and he walks down and closes the door behind him. I like you better when you're not here.
Well, and then she's going to just
slam.
Then she's gonna scream to the actual door or something along the lines of, "Yeah, I like myself better when I'm not here either. That's why I'm blessed."
And whenever he sees the guards as he walks out of the normal door, he's like, "Sup, guys?" and he walks past them.
Oh, that's fantastic.
One of them makes a little note in a notebook. That's all.
Oh. Well, do you feel ready to go talk to your mother? Do you want to do it alone? Or are we all presenting ourselves?
Oh, definitely. We're not going to do that.
In the boys' room, while Samael is gone, Lobo.
Go fish. 4.
He does, but he's like, but you have all the numbers in your hand.
Oh, I thought when that happens, you go fish. Okay. What happens?
And on the bed, on your separate beds are laid out your outfits, the proper ones. And Lobo, it is way too fancy for you. It's got sleeves. It's got shoes. They got a little curve to them at the end.
Oh no. Oh, no.
And we're not supposed to do modifications on these, right, Sid?
No, that would be... it's only for a short time. We can.
It looks very honorific, Sid, not like functional.
Oh, no. Okay.
That's going to be tight, isn't it?
It's... in certain parts of your body, you may not be able to move as freely.
It's gonna lift and separate.
So,
when you put them on, though, they do fit. They are uncomfortable, and they're garish. I don't know if you've ever seen the Swiss Guard uniforms.
Yes.
But think that designer made these.
Yeah.
Swiss Guard?
For the Vatican. Katie's looking it up.
Yes. Oh my lord. Oh no, it's perfect. I love it.
It is.
Oh yeah.
It's that designer, not the exact same, but that designer.
Oh no.
Yes, those shoes are way too functional for what these are going to be.
I was going to say, these
Ricardo, I'm not sure if you've seen the boots worn in certain Hispanic circles in South Texas. I know James has seen these boots.
Yes.
That kind of curve, James.
I know.
I know. Yes, and you can tell that these were put together by someone who had a lot of money, but not a lot of fashion sense. Samuel, there's also one for you, but it is in robes, not... Yes, those, Katie. Not that pointed, but close. Samuel, you have very similar, but it's done in robes befitting a member of the clergy.
Oh, the stink that I could make about this. But he does respect Lenore enough not to do that. So he's like, he just grins and bears it and puts the outfit on very begrudgingly.
And you guys, you are summoned as a group, except for 4.
Mm.
He's too young.
Yeah, he is, but...
Adult thing.
I hope
it's
they
okay. I'll cheat. I won't look at Lobo's cards again.
And I whisper to him, it's like...
we're restarting the game when
do what you must.
It's fine. I was dealing anyway.
Samuel,
as you say that, you see cards falling out of his sleeves.
Hey.
Samuel puts a platinum piece on the table next to 4, and he's like, I'm just saying. And he walks out of the room.
Does he know how much a boat costs?
What's that?
Does he know how much a boat costs?
I'm not trying to pay for a boat, dude. I'm just trying to get you to steal that painting.
Yeah, the painting.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that pays like 4 boats. That's like by a great master. Does he not know anything?
I mean...
How does he know so much?
I'm still trying to figure that out. I mean, he's...
Miss Anna was showing me things on the boat.
You need better teachers than Anna. She's going to get you in trouble.
You hear this Edgeller walking out.
I mean, that is fair, but,
Yeah, Sid is just so confused. It's like, he goes down this path and then he does a 180, and I don't understand it.
He's like got so many things in his head right now, he doesn't know who he is at this point. Yep. But you guys eventually make your way back down to the same parlor, but this time there are more people present. There is an elderly elven gentleman standing by the piano. An elderly elven female in the most audacious evening gown, lounged on a chaise, looking like she's at death's door, but give me a perception check.
Can I roll medicine?
If you can. She's at death's door. Samael, sit, Lenore, it's makeup.
Anna reaches in her bag for a form and just kind of makes sure it's at the ready.
Oh my god. Did you just read my mind? That's been one of my biggest concerns.
Samael will look at Lenore because I'm sure he's heard about this in the past, about her performances in.
Oh wait, about the queen. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and he looks at Lenore and just rolls his eyes and kind of nods, letting her know that he's kind of already diagnosed her and it's not important.
Also, give me another perception check, Samael only.
Ooh.
And this is actually perception. That's high enough. You finally see the signature. Now that he's in chat, I can say the Great Master's name. This was painted by Percival.
Oh.
Yes, I can't remember Percival's last name, but he has one. But yes, this is done by a great master. Y'all remember all the times Percy wasn't in Callendale? He was painting people.
That's right.
But yes, Lenore, you sat for Percy a few times. Several times you were closed.
Percy, I mean, fantastic. Fantastic. It's actually when undressed. You know, the way that the coloring, top notch. People wouldn't even tell I was half dead.
Yeah. Anna, you've seen this brushstroke before. You know how expensive this would be.
Oh.
But yes, Samael, you see the name and you recognize it to a degree. You've heard the name before in circles. The Order of Calistria gets around.
Now he wants it even more. But if he hears about the non-clothed ones, he's going to want those even more.
But as you walk in, your mother looks, oh, my prodigal child has returned to me.
Hello, Mother.
Is this
Mom.
Cece speaking? The lilt of her voice escapes me. It's so dramatic, Anna. You love it.
Lenore's going to come closer, and then she's going to touch her mother's chin. But that's impressive, Mother. Did you get? Is this consumption? Yeah, do elves get consumption, or did you get Percy to paint
At
yourself?
the word consumption, she starts to cough.
Or did you finally get Percy to use your body as a canvas?
No.
There's just so much paint on you.
Oh, that was in my wilder youth. Oh.
Anna is taking notes very readily as she can. She's like, oh, guys, so elegantly.
And she's like, no, I heard you met my former lover.
Yes, I am.
understand he is well read now, finally.
Yes, that one could say that.
I do believe we have to speak about my journal. I believe someone was asking questions. It's broken. It's the re-injured the broken heart, and I might die from it.
Okay.
I believe leeching could cure some of this ailment.
Oh, we've tried. It's beyond all clerical help.
How about a shadow leech, though?
Try anything once.
Well, I can procure some.
Lenora's going to take a deep breath. She doesn't fully need. So I just think it's very curious how, the timing of my finding your journal and your ailment just met. It's
just serendipity. It's as the great master said, when a heart breaks, angels die.
Sam has to look away before, so he doesn't just laugh out loud in her face.
You hear, "Oh," from Lobo.
Sam will just nod.
Your stepfather just looks at you, Lenore. He's like, well, if this is the real one, you'll have to take over as the lady of the estate. And I'll retire to one of the country gardens.
Except, Father, it isn't. I mean, look at her. She has more makeup on than, I had in my freaking debut sample. And that's something.
Inflation being what it is, it's about the same.
That's fair enough.
Who are these people that are with you, though, daughter?
Hi, Mom. Lobo.
Those are my siblings.
He looks over to your mother. He's like, did you have another one? With an orc? There's nothing against it, but you should have let me know. I could have had some fun.
No, they're from the other side, Father.
Oh, no. That one was no fun. No fun at all.
That's just like a bunch of people sitting around.
Well, yes. Involved in all.
Oh, excellent. I would love to interview you later on some of the details on that encounter.
Now, ma'am, I would say, if my sister tries to get you to sign something, that you should probably not do that.
Sit!
Without reading proper.
I cannot see her roaming around and have Lenore have to deal with that. That's creepy.
Very well. Well, I'll ask.
Anna's mother hands you back the contract.
Oh, jeez.
Addended and signed.
Oh my God, no.
And the only addendum is intelligent.
Oh, she doesn't actually want the bodies to bring them back. They're free.
Yes, no, she wants to be brought back in.
Oh, would you like to lich them?
Yes.
I wanted to do that,
That way, I can be with her forever.
Of course.
See what you did? Do you see what you did?
I would so love to adventure again.
So, Sam.
Well, why don't you?
Sam,
it's not like you're dying.
But I am.
But as a medical professional, you are not.
The heart knows, but the medicines cannot.
Better calm down. You're not dying.
This is probably the best play that I've seen in about 100 years.
We're sitting next to Lucia on the stairs, eating popcorn.
Oh,
Lenore is going to call one of the guards and ask for a lot of champagne. I am way too sober to do
Oh yeah,
they
bring you champagne.
Oh god, she's going to down like
Sit,
two.
you are actually handed
two
a sipping glass of whiskey over ice,
Excellent.
fresh ice.
I appreciate this. This is awesome.
Oh, Lobo, you're also presented the same.
Oh no.
What is this?
Cold
drink
whiskey.
it. You drink it.
Drink it?
Yes. It warms your soul. And then also...
The ice sticks to your lip.
Mother.
Oh,
Mother.
Yes, my darling daughter.
You are not sleeping with my siblings.
Hey, now, look. You don't control me.
That's
Unless you decide to, take my hand in marriage, like I've asked quite a few times.
You're related. That'd be far too gauche.
Where are you from? That happens all the time around here.
Not in our family.
Where
Now,
well,
half brothers on the other hand.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, we are half siblings.
No. That one. He's not blood proper.
Which one?
Lobo, the furry one.
Only when I'm angry I get furry.
I mean, technically, yes, he is, because he's from the same father.
Say again?
You wouldn't happen to know more about Lobo than we were assuming. That you know about his creation. You didn't know about all of us.
I've got the letters.
The letters.
Oh yes, and she. This was from the Leclerc family, and this is from the Hellstroms.
That's amusing.
And this one, I don't believe I know the Orcish language enough. Give me just one moment, guys. But yes, I can't pronounce the last name here. And she hands one to Lobo.
Lobo know how to read? Yeah, he does.
And so you're also handed one. A letter. Sitz is the oldest. It looks very old parchment. And she's taking these all out of like a shoebox.
Where did you get these? Who is the author of these?
Oh, he was a dashing bard in my company at one point in time. We adventured together for a period.
I slept with him.
Well, he was a bard.
And you're you.
Yes, and I mean, fighters get boring.
Yeah, that's why Samael asks me to marry him every full moon.
Yes, but no offense, but the Hellstroms are not that well birthed.
ooh.
Now the Leclerc family would work, but sadly Anna is not a male heir.
Man.
Are you? I'm done. Are you trying to arrange my marriage? Is that why you called me here, Mother?
She faints. Total fake.
That's the death in our circles.
First things first, I think that's quite absurd because, Anna would be a fantastic match, and so would be Samuel. not gonna call him Sammy in front of my mother because I still value my life. You know, both
Is that
of
a
them
yes?
would be. Calm down. Both of them would be a fantastic match. You know, Samael because he's religious and honestly hot, and Hannah because she is, you know, really well, you know, a very amazing birth and, you know, also very hot. So, you calm down talking about my siblings, friends, potential marrying partners.
Well, we have some in the works for you. They can have them here in a couple of months for you to peruse. I mean, the Master Perseus apparently in a relationship that allows him to do whatever he wishes, and he has others of high birth in that same vein. Apparently, this is town where there's a lot of nobles.
There is one problem. I've been researching. You see, our kind is, we don't want to call us infertile, but we are complicated in our fertility. So a good match has to be of a similar lifespan, potentially. So that is one limiting factor, and that family must not be too overeager for an offspring, unless we can crack the nut. And I don't mean that in a rude way.
It was an egg.
If we could solve the problem of fertility in our kind, which, you know, I do want to interview you later. And she points at the father again.
And you guys get a few more discussions in there, and the hints are not subtle that she has suitors lined up.
Lenore's brain stopped working whenever she said suitors in like the plural and lined up, and you know they'll be here in a few months, and then just like Lenore's brain stopped working. She's like she's like, really expecting me here to stay here for like months.
Samuel goes over and starts playing the piano.
All right. The stepfather enjoys it. Puts a hand on your shoulder.
You know, Samuel, you would make an excellent son-in-law. We just need to raise your station a little bit.
Well, whenever I'm king of the world, then of course I will be the most eligible suitor.
Yeah, that can be an end goal, but before then, you know, would there be an acceptable amount?
Now, if he had station with his church.
I got the perfect idea. I marry Anna, we form a really powerful house, then we marry Lenore, and then everything is super powerful.
Does Taldor work that way?
I have no idea.
I mean, I know that the commoners can do whatever they wish. This is more of a, how do you deal with the joining of lands in a polygamous relationship? I'll have to research that.
Lobo, you have no idea what any of those words mean.
Nope. He stopped listening. He's over with Lucia eating popcorn.
Sid,
Lobo's
on
like,
the other hand, you
words.
know all about this. This is like shipboard romance.
Lobo's like, words.
I'll tell you what, Lenore. Now that you're here, I'm feeling so much better.
Odd.
But I won't bring up the possible suitors, and you won't mention when I take your half-sibling to my bedchambers.
Which one?
Yes.
I say start with Lobo.
Again?
One of them has had a dragon.
That is true. I mean, I have a dragon that has, I'm betrothed
And Lenore
to.
could use a little sister.
Mother, weren't you dying 5 minutes ago?
I'm feeling better. It was just a spell.
a really
So
bad
you-
spell because we could actually tell.
So I just want to clarify this. You were not dying. Not dying, really. You were just bored.
I was
and
heartbroken
horny.
that you weren't home.
So you were bored, and now you're just horny. I see.
Yes, all of the above. It's Absalom. There's nothing to do here.
Go adventure.
There is plenty to do here. I mean,
They're boring. They've been through that once already.
understood.
It's. I can't go on the same adventure twice.
Mother,
But
you can't have checked the entire population of us.
Plus, I might die in a week or two.
That's not fair.
It's possible. I've been perfecting my leaps.
Mom,
So it's either lichdom or godhood.
you've been dying for 200 years at the very least. And every single time, it's because you are either hungry, bored, angry, horny, or all of the above. So that's not dying. That's not how dying feels. I'm half dead. I can tell you, that's not how it works. You know, dying feels like nothing, you know, or pain, or both. Doesn't feel like war.
Okay. So you were brought here on false pretense. It's fine. It's fine. The real reason, she pulls all the different ropes and bells and whistles around her. And from the galley of a kitchen that is behind the parlor and out near the carriage house comes servant after servant after servant after servant, carrying cloche after cloche after cloche, to where you have about a 9-course meal laid out in front of each of you, being held by someone. It is, after all, your birthday.
Lenore has no idea she was shopping for like weeks and then she was in the sea for a week. She doesn't even realize. Plus, she's like, I don't even know how old Lenore is at this point. So, many years. And she lost count by the time she turned, I believe, 150.
And as they reveal each cloche, it is whatever your favorite meals are, Bella. Even if they're Brazilian, I don't care.
Feijoada!
Fair enough.
And you know, and dessert is these chocolate balls. It's, you know.
Ooh, brigadeiros and macaroons better. Brigadier macaroons.
Yes.
Oh.
Each with a candle.
Oh, what's that? Is that this year? Like, is that this year?
Oh, no, hon, that's decades at minimum.
Oh, oh. How old am I at this point?
I do believe Captain Well is the oldest of your kin.
Correct.
You are just a wee bit younger. So he is, what, 140, 150 now? So?
It's 150, I think 152 I have.
You were in your 70s when we met. But it wouldn't be my first time with Mr. Well. But beyond that, you are around 150, 145. Who's to say? It was a time.
Feels longer.
Puts down
Trust
no
me, it
find
does
actual
feel longer.
siblings.
Anyway, you see, Mother, that's just not how functional families work. If you wanted to throw me a birthday party, you should have told me you wanted to throw me a big party.
You wouldn't
Instead
have
of,
come.
That's fair.
I know. Sit was doing the whole calculation. It's like, no, that adds up.
And I believe the next oldest is the Shadow Boy.
Oh, hello.
Plane of Shadow Time being slightly different than ours. He's, what, in his hundreds? No, 60s.
Yes, I was probably 40-ish whenever I left the Plane of Shadows.
Yes. And Anna being what she is, younger, and Lobo younger still.
Are you gonna eat that?
Yeah, her entire, and as a lady eater, and so she just pushes it all over. And it's probably, she's the closest to, like, still in her actual age.
Actually, no, Lobo too. Lobo and Anna are about the same.
Which, you know, Anna being that young actually still, it scares Sit because she is so advanced with everything
Magic.
that she's doing, and it's like, that's why he freaks out that the wrong people that he knows are going to show up as part of the undead, you know, risen for her, and I'm going to be like, I know that guy. No.
But Anna, you do have a signed contract.
I will start researching this right away.
You have a signed contract from a lady who's not going to die for the next 500 years.
Well, she also would be fine with being a lich, and there's details for that.
And then Lenore's going to kind of lean over close to Anna and go like, "Don't get too excited about that. That woman's going to bury us all. You know, she doesn't die."
Well, still, I am excited for the chance.
That means fair enough. Maybe like she gets hit by the lightning, although I don't think that can kill her. But you know, it's probably going to bruise. Maybe she'll enjoy it. She's rude.
Maybe if I harm her enough, it'll work.
Ooh, promises.
Well, I have a nickname, and you should learn it.
I plan to. I mean, he might leave you alone once he's had the best, daughter.
Calm down. And then she's just going to look at Samaya and go, "No. No.
No what?
No."
I need to know parameters for no. It's a very broad statement.
She's saying no to her, but not to me.
No, I was saying no to you.
No, this is the stepfather speaking at that moment. Sorry.
Okay.
I just want you to speak to her mother, but she didn't say anything about her father.
I mean, that's fine.
Have you ever been to the Temple of Callistra?
Yes, many times. They have fun parties.
We should go.
Oh, but before you do, interview. And
Yes.
the notebook comes out.
And he will take you to another side, to his study.
Mm-hmm.
It's lined with books.
Oh.
Plot twist.
Like,
Plot twist. Lenore said that her mother's not supposed to sleep with any of her siblings, and then her father does.
All of them. All of them.
Honorable, young noble, no.
So, you want to study. Is that correct?
Oh, of course.
Make a perception check.
Oh, no.
You spot an angelic being sitting on the couch, lounging.
Oh, hello.
No, you brought friends, Frederick. You brought friends over. We never have friends. And she has us. She has an eidolon like me.
You are a summoner as well.
Oh, yes. I invented in my younger days.
Jovan, Lady Anna Leclerc.
I'm trying to think of a name for it. Give me a moment.
Steve.
No, Steve the Angel.
Cythriel.
Cythriel.
Yes.
Angel for Steve.
Yeah, pretty good.
There's a dozen of us up there. It's fine. Yes, Cythriel. Yes, enchanted, I'm sure. Did they give you all 9 horses they were speaking of?
I might have passed them over to my sibling. I don't really consume as much food as most.
Me neither. As of being a deific being.
I was just about to interview
Frederick?
Frederick.
Yes.
Hope you don't.
No, go ahead. I will speak with your Eidolon. We'll have a conversation.
Oh, good luck with that.
I know her family.
Her book starts to...
He's like, I know her family. We'll talk.
I'm sorry, what? And her notebook.
Wow.
You know her family?
Yes.
What is her family?
Oh. Well, I'm an angelic Eidolon. We come from above. She's more grounded to this realm.
Okay.
We do talk. We do have conferences.
Mm-hmm.
And we've talked shop.
Yes.
But her family, well, to hear her tell it, I mean, it was long drawn out, and I can't remember what we agreed on, Katie. So give me a moment to look it up.
Smith.
No, it's actually a little bit more complicated than that. But I believe it was something with one of your ancestors, and an illegitimate something, if I'm not mistaken. I do believe that y'all are technically related.
That makes sense.
I don't recall the details. It was many years ago. Before Lady Lenore was born.
She's taking notes. Before Lenore was born.
Yes. But it has been ages since we've spoke.
Illegitimate. Interesting.
She was with someone else last time.
There's someone else's Eidolon.
Yes.
Who?
I do believe your great-grandmother?
Great-grandmother. Okay. All right.
New information.
If the timing is right, if my math is proper, I'm gonna maybe a couple extra grades in there. I'm not positive. Humans are weird. Humans are weird with time.
Too many things to research.
Break Katie's mind with knowledge.
Uh-huh.
But yes, Frederick is sitting back. He's sipping on a brandy. He's like, brandy?
Yes, and she just very unlady like that. Yeah. Let's do. I just need the details for the copulation that led to Lenore.
Oh, well.
Especially the involvement of the vampire. And
Oh yes, we did not know he was a vampire at the time. He led us to believe he was just a bard with a sun allergy.
Bard.
Yes, but he fought like a fighter. Very good with a sword. Dashing wit. Could be a swashbuckler, I might be wrong. Thinking about it, putting 2 and 12 together.
Now, did you do anything different? Anything unusual?
It was pretty straightforward. Well, it wasn't straightforward, but it was crooked forward.
She will take her notes, and we can return to the rest of the party.
Sit.
Yes.
What are you doing?
So, Sit I think he's just going to be looking around. He's wasn't interested in joining the interview, and he's also not necessarily interested in joining Lenore's mother. So, at least not at
that
this.
has a pass, guys. Not even James knows what all of it.
He's like, Sid's like, no. Well, see, right now that Sid has a son, he is really thinking about finding the dragon mom. So that's where his focus is.
Okay.
But he's going to kind of just look around and see if there's anything. Well, actually, I take it back. I'm going to look at that letter and go through it.
It's an old love letter.
Yeah.
But it does mention you. And your birth. He's like, it's been lovely having a son around for a moment. It's a shame I had to leave.
Now I'm curious.
But I set him up well. He has a trust.
Interesting. I'm wondering. So, since I was in the orphanage and
a rapscallion in the shackles at times.
Yeah. I'm curious where that money resides. Also,
it should be safe in Geb.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Guys?
Is it at the undead place?
Yes.
Yeah. And oddly enough, it's not the best place for us.
Yeah. That's interesting. Now, the other question is how did Lenore's mother get this? Because my mother.
Oh, it was written to her.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
About where he's at, what he's doing, yada yada. I'll be meeting up with the troop again soon.
Gotcha. Okay.
Make sure Frederick's prepped. Yeah. It's basically lovers' correspondence. But he's being very truthful with her.
Yeah. Well, I do ask.
It's unsigned.
What's that?
It is unsigned.
I do ask if she ever met my mother or knows who my mother was.
No, I'm sorry. I only knew the other side.
Okay.
Well, and I did not know him as well as I thought I did.
Well, I do appreciate your honesty.
It's fine. You appreciated it last time, too.
Yes. But
It is unfortunate that you had such a bad accident.
What accident do you refer to?
When the knock on the noggin where you didn't recall.
He's going to go and sit off to the side and kind of ponder all of this.
Make me a will saving throw.
I will.
You get brief glimpses of a moment as you're charging off of a boat at a fortress, and you get hit in the head by an unexploded cannonball.
Oh my.
But you come to, and you can cast spells now. It's weird. It's like you picked up new skills by activating parts of your brain, but memories are fragmented beyond that. became two as you were, studying along the way. And you remembering the fragments of spells you heard in the shackles and how to put two and two together and make fire. And you start visiting libraries and stealing books and all those other things that happened along the way. But all that happened because of that, because your memories have been fragmented in the past. You see one glimpse. Right before the cannonball hits, the man running next to you, shocked with a white cape, black suit, lute strung on his back, wand in each hand, fangs, and white hair.
And
Get them, son!
So, I realized that I actually adventured with my dad.
Yes, for a time.
How could I not remember this?
Not that bard.
It does remind me of him, though.
No, Zil is dramatic in a different way. No fangs.
That we know of.
Pretty sure. But no, yeah, you are getting fragments of memory.
I look over at Lenore's mouth and it's like, can I keep this? Do you mind?
Yes, feel free. I doubt I'll be hearing from him again soon.
Well, if you ever do, please let us know.
If it will bring my daughter back to me. Oh. And she faints on Lenore again.
Sid literally just walks away. He gets out of that chair and walks away. He's like, okay, I can't do this anymore.
And Lobo, what are you doing? You haven't talked in a minute, Roberto.
He's probably still eating, kind of staring at that letter.
Oh, Lobo is on course 36.
Yeah.
No one else is eating except for Lobo.
And he's like staring at the letter with a orc family name that he's probably never heard before, or at least doesn't remember. He's just kind of looking at the letter, but mostly eating. He's like, should he read it? Should he not? And probably just eventually he opens it and see what it says.
All right. And you're sitting there and you're reading through it, and it's similar to the Sit one, about how your father found you after a raid. Or not your father, but the man who converted you found you after a raid. And he in the note it says, yes, it was a man from, I've recently found a man from the Talon Wrecker tribe. Brave warrior. I had to, unfortunately, convert him in order for him to not die. But he's from good hearty stock. I'm sure he'll make it. I wasn't able to stay with him long, no more than a day or two, and make sure he was hale again. And he'll come to consciousness soon enough, I'm sure.
Oh, no. Sean, you read your letter first.
I think then he stops eating, stands up. He gives the letter back to Lenore's mom. And he goes back to the room.
Okay.
There's some more cards.
4's up there already. They're already dealt.
No, you gotta redeal them. Reshuffle.
But you were winning.
No, I said we're gonna restart.
All right. You redealt the exact same cards.
You see?
And we'll cut the semi out.
After this all stuff is going on, he does take a few of the cheese breads out of everybody's plates and like pops them in his mouth. That's literally my favorite food from Brazil. And he will sit on top of the piano, like legs crossed, and just kind of open the letter up and look at it.
It's another one that's in the same hand as all the others. It's newer. Not as new as Lobos, but close. And I had the most epic experience, my darling Patsy. We crossed over the plains, and I still found a temple. The goddess does love to party. Had such a fun time at the Hellstrom's Manor. Oh, you would have loved it, darling. Their clothes were forbidden, apparently, in the Shadow Realm. I did not know. Who'd have thought me overdressed? And, well, needless to say, he's a bouncing baby shadow. His mother did not want to raise him up as her own, so she's dedicating him to the Church of Our Lady, as is custom. No ties and whatnot, as I've told you. It is an anathema to her. But he should serve well. Perhaps we'll find use for him later. Let him grow for a while.
He will, he'll kind of chuckle to himself and be like, "Damn it, Dad, you're not that bad of a guy." He'll look at that. Oh, go ahead. I was gonna say he'll look at Lenore's mom and be like, "Patsy?"
Well, I guess that's what he calls me. He does not like speaking in Elvish.
Ah, well, interesting. Do you mind if I hold on to this?
Oh, feel free. Tell your mother hello if you stop by her home. We have had such fun.
Yeah, if you'll let me know who that is, that'd be perfectly fine.
The Hellstroms, they're in the Shadow Realm. It's Shadow Absalom. Have you never been?
I was brought up in the temple and then kicked off into the mortal realm.
Oh. Well, there's a portal around here somewhere. I'm sure you can find one.
Road trip.
Lenore, you want to go to the Shadow Realm with me?
Yeah, I guess. Never been.
Family road trip. He yells it like through.
Let me see if I got this
Give
straight.
yourself a last name and see if I won't use it.
No. I appreciate it. Yeah. Sure.
There is one other letter that was handed out.
Anna opens her letter.
Excellent.
Darling, do you remember the Leclercs? Adventuring couple, nobles, have a house and a curse, apparently. Frederick seemed to enjoy them. He said that they were peas in a pod, as it were. I believe that he's arranged for my newest daughter to go to the academy. She would be a legacy if she does go to my school. But unfortunately for them, no matter what I might have told them along the way, it does not break the curse. But more fools they. But she will be taken care of. Her entry fees, her studies, all taken care of. In trust, of course. Just set him up at the same bank as as sits. I do believe that he will also. The Bank of Geb should be able to cover both those schools. There are good trade relations.
Anna looks up from her letter. She says, "Good news. We get to visit the academy." I so wanted to go back.
You did graduate, didn't you, dear?
Oh, there was a incident. I had to take a gap year.
Do let them know that you're a legacy if you go back. They'll let you right back in.
Oh, I know.
On both sides.
Excellent. Wonderful. Thank you.
You haven't had any money troubles, have y'all?
Not thus far.
Well, we're not filthy rich, so yes.
Fair.
Well,
Maybe richer, yes.
Lobo's like, money?
Well, your trusts have been gaining interest, the two of you.
Did I have a trust?
No, unfortunately, I don't believe he set one for you, as you were dedicated to the church. And Lobo, unfortunately, his life was his trust.
That's true, saved him.
I mean, I did wake up with a bag full of gold next to me.
And an arm.
And an arm.
So which ones of us have a trust?
Anna and Sid.
Well, we can certainly put it amongst all the others. Make it...
Well, it is... The bank is in Geb.
Yeah.
So, feel free. They know your names. You just have to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And deal with the riffraff.
What has happened in Geb?
Oh, no, nothing. I just have this, sinking
I haven't
feeling.
been on that side of the continent in, 300-400 years.
Oh, well, it's all just pettiness all the way down, but they have a peculiar way of dealing with the potentially undead. It's more complicated than people think from the outside, as always.
Yes.
Well, it seems that we should retire for the evening, and y'all will have many paths to tread. Now that you've brought my darling daughter back to me.
At least to visit, because we will need her assistance when we make these travels.
Oh, as long as she promises to write and doesn't break her mother's heart, I'll have to finish my ship.
I'll make sure that she does.
Lenore, how do you react to that?
She does her best to keep her face straight and not roll her eyes at her mother's drama. Poor mother already. And is it?
And as y'all...
Eventually.
Hope you feel better.
And as y'all exit to your rooms and the night winds down, is there anything else you want to say to each other before we end for the evening?
Lobo, she's not sick.
What?
It was all an act.
What?
Force to get here.
Oh. Oh, she's pretty good at
And
it.
he hands Samuel a rolled up painting.
He unrolls it.
Yeah, I swapped it.
Ah, you're the man for.
But it's not the one from the parlor.
Oh, which one? Is it one of the nude ones?
It's, yeah.
Oh, you are gonna be my favorite person in the world.
There's more.
We have to get them. I must collect them all.
Sid picks up 4.
They're non-fungible Perseals.
Oh my god. Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
I will play you. Oh my god.
That one hurts so bad.
Dawn did an NFT.
I
Right back upstairs. Looks very disappointed.
I did an NFP.
Oh man.
Disappointed, shaking the head.
Yeah.
But
But
it was an NFP, a non-fungible Perseal.
bravo.
Anyway,
I'm very disappointed that my birthday game did not end up in a traumatized Hannah.
Yeah.
It's okay. We traumatized you.
That's fair. That was a traumatized
But we
battle.
are going to go ahead and, with everyone returning to their rooms, we're going to end for the evening with multiple paths and plots and twists that people can take.
So many.
So many options. Around about 5.
I know.
Strangely enough. So, before we go, I'd like to say thank you to all of my players and to all of you all watching. I have been Don, your GM. You can find me at Don Van Dolen on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Hive, or D Van Dolen, either one. You'll find me. I'm probably one of the very few that's out there. We're going to go ahead and go over to our birthday girl, because it is a very special birthday, and let her go first for our outro.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bella. I was playing Lenore and was probably twice as traumatized as Lenore herself, but Lenore just survived to the mouth. You can find me on Twitter at BellaRiddle and on Instagram at EllaBellaContinuing, just like my handle on Twitch somewhere in the chat. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank everyone for the birthday game. That was very fun. Yeah, a little bit traumatizing, but it's fun in a fun way. And I'll hand over to the person who apparently now owns a nude from Lenore. Sarah.
So 4. Who is 4? No. Hi guys, I'm Sarah. I was playing Samael, and you can find me on Twitter at Sarah7482. I haven't made any other social media things yet. We'll see how that all goes. It'll probably still be Sarah7482 wherever. Yeah, and happy birthday to Bella, of course. And I'll send it to Ricardo.
Hey everybody, Ricardo. I was playing Lobo. You can find me at Ricardo Riv J on the Twitters. I don't have anything else. You're lucky I have a Twitter.
That's fair.
Feliz cumpleaños, Bella, and sending it to Katie.
Hi, I am Katie, and you can find me pretty much everywhere as Kay Cunning. And I was playing Anna, and that's pretty much it. And I will pass it over to James.
All right. Well, to wrap it up, James, and you can find me on pretty much everything now at DicePorn. So on Hive, Twitter, Mastodon, even Roll to Roll has a Tumblr now, so you'll find you can actually go to Tumblr as well. I've been playing Sitwell, the Kobold Dhampir that is still looking for his dragon lover, so to speak. So time will tell.
And what else does Roll to Roll have going on this week?
So on Friday, we are going to be getting together to play either a Monster of the Week or something. We're hoping to play Monster of the Week so we can complete our Godless Endeavor campaign. And then after that, Christmas, so we're not going to worry about Saturday. And roll around back to the next week. So... And next week on Monday we will have Dungenerates. Yes.
Awesome.
And then 4 of us will be on another channel doing fist writing.
Fist of the Regime.
Thank you. I was trying not to say what my husband always says. I'll
What was
put
that?
I'll put
You
it.
say it loud enough for Hannah to hear it.
Oh, hey, fisting phoenixes. This is your fisting phoenixes game. That's what he said. So yeah. Anyway, we'll be over there where you can watch me play, screamy Bard Adanya, And we've got Tac-Tac, we've got two birds.
Best bird.
And then a fetchling.
First bird.
And then a fetchling fighter, Kata, that likes to take off people's arms.
And give
Yes.
friends, animal friends.
Yes.
Yes.
But that is over on D20 Saves. But feel free to join us there. And you guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, wonderful Christmas, and a Happy New Year since we won't see you before then.
All right. Good night.
Nice.
Night, guys.
Night, yo.